Anna Palmer was a 10-year-old girl in 1998. She lived in Salt Lake City, Utah, with her family. She spent most of her time playing with the neighborhood children and was described as a socialite. On the 10th of September 1998, Anna called her mom named Nancy, who was at work. She asked her if she could go play with her friends, and Nancy agreed. This was around 5 p.m. Anna then walked a few houses down to meet her friend Roxanne. The two of them then went to the local park. When it got near 7 p.m., Anna said that they had to walk home since she wanted to follow Nancy's rules. While they were walking home, a man they did not know walked past them. Roxanne noticed that after they passed him, the man glared at Anna. Roxanne and Anna then stopped at the house of a girl named Amy Johnson to see her new kitten. After that, Roxanne headed home, and Anna headed in a different direction to her home. At 7 p.m., Nancy arrived home and saw Anna laying on the porch. Nancy immediately knew she was gone, because Anna's face was waxy and pale. Nancy later said that her skin was almost yellow, because there were no longer any blood flow. She immediately called 911 and performed CPR with the help of the dispatcher. It did not help, because Anna had a hole in her neck. The dispatcher then advised Nancy to hold her hand over the wound and then attempt CPR. A couple minutes later, paramedics arrived and took Anna to the hospital. Unfortunately, Anna was already gone. She scratched her attacker, so she had his skin under her nails. The detectives kept it so that they can use it when technology was more advanced. The residents of Salt Lake City was fearful, but also angry. If such a despicable act could happen to a girl that seemingly followed all the safety rules and who lived in a safe neighborhood, then no child was safe. In this religiously conservative state of Utah, people wanted immediately biblical retribution, so the police had to act fast. The police immediately started interviewing Anna's family and friends. Roxanne, that was with Anna, told police about a man she saw following Anna. Amy Johnson also told police that after Anna headed home, she noticed an unknown man walking with her, and he creeped her out. Other residents also noticed a young man who no one knew in the area had seemed drunk and out of place. Anna's family made a public appeal via the media for anyone with information to come forward. A reward of $11,000 was offered for any information that would lead to this case being solved. Despite all of this, the case went cold. In 2009, the DNA evidence they had was entered into a database, and they immediately found a match. It led detectives to 32-year-old Matthew Brake. He was serving time in an Idaho prison for an unrelated crime. When interviewed, Matthew admitted that he lived near Anna back in 1998. Back then, he was 19 years old with no direction in life. He was a California native, but moved to Utah with his brother Tom, after Tom's friend Todd Clark told the two that they would find steady employment there. Tom found a job, but Matthew did not. He spent most of his days drinking and not looking for work. He considered himself a tough guy and would constantly pick fights with people. Also in 1998, Matthew was charged with a violent felony in an unrelated case, and he served very little time in jail. Importantly, his DNA was not taken during his short stay in county jail. On August 12, 2011, Matthew Brake pleaded guilty, and he was sentenced to life in prison without a chance of parole. If they did take his DNA back in 1998, this case could have been solved nearly instantly. It is also important to note that Todd Clark's wife told police to look into Matthew after she heard about Anna, but they never did. Matthew is now in a very tough prison in Utah, and since he did what he did to a child, the odds are that he will be beaten. The body of a white female between 17 and 25 years old was found on October 29, 2006 in Kilgore, Texas. A total of $40 was found in her pockets. It is believed that she passed away between 8:15 p.m. and 10 p.m. the previous day. The unknown female was given the nickname of Lavender Doe, most likely due to the purple sweater she had on. Detectives were able to recover a DNA sample belonging to an unknown man from her body. A lot of residents started pointing out suspicious people that they believed could be involved, and the investigation started. In January 2014, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released a digital composite image. This led to the mother of missing 23-year-old Brandy Wells to come forward. Brandy disappeared after going out to a nightclub in Longview, Texas in August 2006. After DNA testing, it was found that Lavender Doe was not Brandy Wells. In August of 2018, a man by the name of Joseph Wayne Burnett confessed to the police that he ended Lavender Doe's life. He was originally questioned back in 2007 because he lived in the area and was convicted of a similar crime. Also in 2018, the DNA Doe Project decided to try and find the real identity of Lavender Doe. They analyzed her DNA profile and found her cousin who also lived in Texas. On February 11, 2019, they announced that Lavender Doe's real identity is Dana Dodd. Dana's mother abandoned her when she was a baby, and her father was homeless. In 2000, she left the rest of her family behind in Florida, and she moved to Texas. There she joined a door-to-door magazine sales team. It is believed that she met Joseph Wayne Burnett while working. "32-year-old Patricia Beard lived in Denver, Colorado in 1981. She was mentally disabled. Fortunately, she had a family who would often call her to make sure she's fine or go check in on her. After several days of trying to contact her without any response, they knew that something just wasn't right. Patricia was found in her studio apartment by a concerned family member on March 27, 1981. She sadly wasn't alive anymore. It was clear that she was strangled. Whoever did this to her climbed up a pipe and entered the apartment through a window. The police retrieved DNA samples that they could use in the future. In 2011, the DNA evidence from the crime scene kit was entered into a database, but no match was found. Finally, in 2013, the investigators found a match: a 53-year-old man from Pennsylvania by the name of Hector Bencomo Hinojos. When questioned by police, Hector claimed that he never knew Patricia and definitely has never been in contact with her. The DNA evidence proves that he did, however. Hector played dumb at first, but when he realized he wasn't going to get out of this one, he pleaded guilty. His wife also told police that he was a very violent man. She said he would slap her in the face for not ironing his clothes and always carried a sharp pocket knife. On 6 occasions, he came home with boxes of china, silverware, and other items. He told his wife he was holding the possessions for friends. Hector was sentenced to 48 years in prison in 2015. This is actually the 100th cold case the Denver police have been able to solve.